Hey everyone, as you probably already know, if you're following SoundHound AI stock, the stock price has been crashing. It hit a high of $8.91 and is now down to $4.05 as of this recording. That's still way higher than the $1.63 the stock was trading at in February of 2024. Now the stock price is crashing, arguably, I wouldn't say because of, but it's not helping that insiders are selling the stock and the company itself is selling its stock. So it points to a management team that feels its stock is overvalued. And of course, investors are not going to be confident in the stock if they see that the management is not confident in the stock. And that's even more the case with companies like SoundHound AI that haven't really proven themselves in terms of profit growth and cash flow from operations. They're still negative in those critical metrics. So when management is sort of selling, I don't want to use the word bailing out because they're not bailing out, as I'm going to show you, but they are selling, and the sheer magnitude of these sales and the number of individuals that are selling really points to a management team that feels this is a good time for them to cash out and take money out of the situation. So I'll look at these sales and I'll answer if I think investors should cash out too, if investors should leave SoundHound AI stock. So let's jump right into it.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So like I mentioned, SoundHound AI stock reached a high of $8.91 in March before crashing down to $4.05 as of this recording. But if you look back, if you zoom out, the stock is still up from $1.63 it was trading at in February. So it's still higher than the lows reached in February of 2024. Now, all year long, I never had SoundHound AI stock rated as a buy. So I can't take credit of this jump up, and I just haven't rated the stock as a buy. For me, it's too early. The lack of profits and the lack of cash flow, even though I fully acknowledge that they've done a good job of improving those metrics, they're moving in the right direction. They're still so far away from profitability and positive cash flow that, given its valuation, I didn't feel was a good opportunity. So, if you listened to me, you would have missed out on these huge gains, but you would have also missed out on this huge drop. Still, the stock is higher than it was at $1.63. So technically, I have been wrong on this investment so far in 2024, given that if you bought it at $1.63, you would still be more than double where you were to begin that investment. Now, let me talk about these share sales. One of the share sales came from the CFO selling 1,590 shares at $8.91 and then selling 23,000 shares at $8.36. So, given these two sales and then looking at how much the CFO still owns, it's not really bailing out. It's just, shrinking the size. The CFO still owns 751,000 shares. So this sale of about 25,000 still leaves the CFO with a significant number of shares. But then again, this chief technology officer also made sales of 5,276 shares at $7.69 per share. But even the chief technology officer still has 982,000 shares. So again, not bailing out, but just, shrinking the position. And then, of course, the CEO selling 48,800 shares at $8.36. But still, the CEO still has 1.169 million shares. So not bailing out, just reducing the position. And again, the VP of engineering selling 17,000 shares at $8.36 and 467,000 shares still owned by the VP of engineering. And the chief product officer selling 17,000 shares but still owns 495,000 shares at a price of $8.36. And finally, the CEO again selling another 31,000 shares at $6, this time getting a worse price. and still has 1.137 million. So you kind of get the point here with these sales. It's the number of individuals, all of them selling, all together really demonstrating that they feel the stock is overvalued. Now, I always point out that management teams and insiders buy and sell stocks for a number of reasons that's not always related to the stock price. For instance, the CEO could be selling because the vast majority of his wealth might be in this stock. And so, to diversify some of his wealth or his or her wealth, the CEO might want to sell some shares and put that money into something else because the CEO might feel like too much of the family's wealth is in this company. So that could be a legit reason why a CEO sells and feels like, I don't want to have this much ownership in this company. But from the investor perspective, it really makes investors lose confidence in the company when they see the CEO, the CFO, individuals that are most acquainted with the company, that know the company the best, and here they are selling. It kind of makes investors wonder, what do they know that they're selling that I don't know? And it's like, okay, I don't want to be in this stock if they don't want to be in this stock. Or if they want less exposure to this stock, then maybe I should want less exposure to this stock. Now, while I always say there's many reasons why insiders buy and sell, when in these circumstances where a stock price is, I don't want to call SoundHound AI a meme stock because it's not at the level of like AMC or GameStop or even Tesla. You know, my university students often call Tesla the original meme stock. Those situations, those management teams also sold, right? Elon Musk has sold billions of dollars worth of Tesla stock. The company itself sold shares so that it can raise capital. AMC insiders sold significant shares. GameStop insiders sold. So when the price explodes like this, before the company demonstrates improvements in long-standing improvements in revenue and profit and cash flow, it might look like its valuation increased a little bit too much too fast. And so it might be a prudent thing to sell and take your gains. But nevertheless, the perspective from investors doesn't look good. The the optics don't look good when you see this happening, especially if after you sell, the stock price now falls, right? I showed you all of those sales were like between let's say $6.80 and $8.25 or $8.50, right? So they all sold at prices that were way higher than where the share price is today. So it really makes investors feel sour. Those investors that bought in at $8.50 and $8.91 really feel sour having come in and then having the rug pulled out from under them. And that's understandable. That's understandable. Now, in addition to insiders, individuals selling their personal ownership, the company itself on April 9th is selling shares, selling up to $150 million worth of its shares. And so if we take that at a, let's be generous and round it up to $5, that's roughly 30 million shares of its stock the company is selling. So whether you look at management's personal sales in their personal accounts, or you look at management's decision to sell the company's shares, it all points to management signaling to the market they feel the shares are overvalued. Now, as far as what you should you bail out? Well, SoundHound AI is selling at a forward price to sales of 12. And remember, I didn't have the stock rated as a buy when it was trading at a much lower price, when it was like here. So at this price, I don't have the stock rated as a buy. Now, I don't have it rated as a sell either. I don't think it's one of those stocks that you should run away from, you should sell and and run away. I don't have it in that category, but I don't have it rated as a buy. I still feel that the shares are too expensive at this valuation because the company is still too far away from profitability and cash flow for me to feel comfortable in recommending the stock as a buy. So do with it what you will. I've not had SoundHound AI stock rated as a buy. I still don't have it rated as a buy. It's unfortunate that insiders sold so many shares and then the stock price fell right after they sold that many shares. It's unfortunate if you're, in the stock at $8-9 a share. I would suggest looking at diversifying away from SoundHound AI, or perhaps if you have some tax loss harvesting you can do with SoundHound AI shares, that might be a way to make the best of a situation that's not great. Regardless, I still feel the valuation is too expensive here at these levels, so I wouldn't be buying SoundHound AI at this price. Did you know that over 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed? It'll really help support my channel if you hit that subscribe button. And oh, by the way, one of the benefits of being subscribed is that I take requests from subscribers more often than I do from non-subscribers. So if you prefer that benefit, please subscribe to the channel.